artistdevelopmentnetwork.com.
I'm over here with Ronnie Palmer. Sounds like a race car driver. Ronnie Palmer. He's got many hats. I know that he produces, because he's been doing some production for me. I know that Ronnie also is excellent with vocal coaching, because we've just done that recently, haven't we?
We have.
Yes. That's a tough job sometimes. And Ronnie's great love is managing artist Chuck Wicks, and I know you've been on the road with him. Tell us a little bit how you got started and what exactly is being a road manager.
I started as an artist, like just about anybody in this business, I think. Kind of doing the artist thing for years and just burned out. And by doing my own thing as an artist, I kind of picked up on the logistics of touring, renting tour buses, advancing shows, hotels, basically the overall logistics.
I bet it could be a nightmare.
It's wonderful all the time. But no, there was really I didn't realize even early on when I started playing that there was actually a role to do this as a job. And, of course, doing the audio engineering and stuff, I kind of fell through that, doing, for other artists, hey man, come run sound for me. And then that led into the tour managing. So I started kind of looking into it and reading about it and found out about a guy named Phil Kaufman who was most famous for setting Graham Parsons' body on fire as his tour manager in Jacob's Ladder. So that I started reading stuff about Phil, and he kind of started the whole gig. Actually, it was kind of his way of putting it together.
Did he already have a tour set up that you took over?
Phil was literally doing, back in the day, he was doing the Rolling Stones, Emmylou Harris, and he realized there was a place for somebody, on the tour, not just as a sound person.
It sounds like a valuable tool for the artist.
Most definitely, and it's a must, and especially with the high pace and quick way that we move today. Do a show, get on a bus, 24 hours later you're on the stage again. So there was the need for that, and so I kind of let the audio thing roll into the tour managing. Absolutely fell in love with it.
What's so fun about that? Tell me.
Most of it for me is the travel. I love seeing new places, meeting new people. It's a blast. The old saying from that a lot of us have is, "I love the smell of diesel in the morning." But
see, now I would hate traveling because I'm a girl, and there's a lot of packing and sleeping in motels. Thank you.
Oh, it's great, and even. Everybody knows, for me, I literally have to have noise when I go home because I get used to the sound of the bus, the sound of the generator, the sound of crazy people running up and down the hall in the bus.
It sounds like you and your wife need a bunch of kids.
No, actually, we're doing just well with a fan actually going constantly.
Okay.
But yeah, it really is addictive. I tell everybody I'm addicted to the road because I can be home. I love being in the studio. I love producing. I love, tracking and coaching vocals and working with new artists in the studio, but to see it translate live and that instant gratification.
That live performance.
It's amazing.
Tell me some more of what all do you do when you're on the road? Tell me some of your responsibilities.
The main responsibilities, of course, as tour manager, with Chuck, I wear many hats, of course. I do the audio and tour manage. But I'm in charge of making sure that, everybody's fed, make sure there's no food allergies, make sure the catering's done, rooms are done for everybody, and if we're not staying there, make sure that we've got a hotel room or two to get cleaned up in once we're there before show, making sure sound check runs on time, that everybody has their passes, people, coordinate with radio to make sure that radio, if they have people, winners, local winners.
That's a lot of stuff you got to keep track of.
It's literally a 7-day.
You're like their mom.
I am the liaison between the artist and the world. It's cool. It's a fun gig. And
who pays you? Does the artist pay you directly?
The artist actually does. It flows through. It's part of the the management gets their cut and booking agency and of course, it comes through us, and then the band and everybody gets paid through the artist, through the touring. So when everybody asks, why are tickets so high? It's because
Got to
it
cover
takes a
all
lot
of
of
that.
people to make. They just think it, poof, look, there's a show. Of course, there's all the production and stuff that goes into it, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's
Well,
really
how
fun.
important do you think, if for those people who are watching this that are just getting ready to start taking their band on the road, how important do you think it is for them to find a serious tour manager to help them coordinate everything? Do you think that's vital?
Oh, most definitely. And like I said, I learned it pretty much on my own. I learned how to coordinate if we needed buses and trailers and advanced production and all the stuff that goes along with it. I mean, I've learned all that on my own. So it's almost, I tell a lot of, like, if I'm teaching people or dealing with new artists, I always tell them, learn all this stuff, even though you think you won't need it, because I didn't. I didn't know why I was learning all this stuff.
You don't want to be surprised on the road.
No, you really don't. And it's so many artists now take it for granted that a lot of these new up-and-comers, they don't have a clue as to how any of it works. And it's sad in a way, but good for us because it gives us a job. But
You guys make the artists look good because you help them get prepared, right?
That's our job. We, like I said, if we go into a venue and there's a problem, for instance with Chuck, he can't go argue over a contract. He can't be, because then
he can't be the bad guy.
That artist is a jerk. So I'm literally it's the liaison position between the two. I'm the mediator and babysitter and confidant, and
I think that's awesome, though.
it is.
Because you've got to let the artists be relaxed and do their job, which is to entertain and not feel stressed out over the technical, business side of it. They need to just shine and be able to be an artist. And so you're doing the dirty work.
They have no idea that anything's gone wrong that day, and that's my job, is to make sure, almost to shelter them, to make sure that they, that everything goes off without a hitch. And they think that, wow, this day was really smooth, and I'm sweating bullets going, yeah, it was great. But yeah, I mean, that's why I get paid to do that.
Oh, it's fascinating for me to hear you talk about this, because I know nothing about being a tour manager.
You need to come out and go with us sometime.
I'm telling you.
Jump on the bus, jump in a bunk.
Well, I appreciate just knowing this information, because it makes me realize just how effortless you guys make it look for those that get on the stage and they get all the limelight and all of the attention and all the praise, and they don't realize all the hard work that you're doing behind the scenes.
That's to be said for anybody. I mean, that goes all the way back to when they recorded the album. You know how that process works.
We make them
a
sound
lot of
really
people
good,
have
don't we?
no idea what goes into it. They just think these people jump up and ta-da, lights, camera, action. And, that's what makes it all work, but it keeps us busy.
Well, I am so grateful that Ronnie Palmer took some time to talk to us. And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I hope that Chuck continues to sell records and have non-stop, sold-out shows.
He will.
And thank you
I'll make sure of it.
Thank you for hanging out and sharing some of your knowledgeable insight with us. And for those of you who are thinking about going on the road, you really need to think about getting a tour manager to help you get organized and make everything go a lot smoother. Right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Kathy.
We'll see you soon.
Please.
Visit us on Facebook or the World Wide Web at www.artistdevelopmentnetwork.com.